is good. I'm not complaining about that, right, Jake?
Right.
Thanks for being on the show. We're going to get to your paraphernalia here in just a minute. But let's start off by making sure everybody understands that it may have been cloudy, it may have been cool, we may have seen chances of rain over the past few days. It really hasn't turned out to be raining everywhere all that much.
That's exactly right. That's a great point. I mean, the cool weather and the cloudy weather is kind of deceiving.
Yeah.
Sometimes we think because things just don't seem as hot to us that we don't have to water, and that's really it's really you actually told me the statistics were very, very low as far as our rainfall for the year.
From the January, over 12 inches below normal,
right,
and that is hugely significant.
Right, that is really serious, especially in July and August.
Exactly.
And that's really what I want to talk about, especially newly planted landscape trees. If you think about a tree that you might purchase at a local nursery, it's say a 2-inch caliber tree, so it's about that wide at the base of the tree, and it can be a pretty tall tree, but the root ball on that, according to the Missouri Nurserymen Association, that has the capacity to hold about 5 gallons of water, in that root ball that you buy. And the roots don't go out very quickly, and they sure don't go out in dry soil. So what's really important about that is that when the tree leaves out during July and August on a typical day of 90 or 95 degrees and the wind's blowing, that tree will lose about 3 to 4 gallons of moisture through transpiration.
Okay, so it needs it even more so.
That's exactly, and it needs it right in that root ball because those roots really do not actively go out very easily into dry soil. Actually, they won't go. If the soil around is not moist,
it's just too hard for them to extend.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's really important on newly planted trees.
It is, and we are in mid-July. We're going to get into August, and traditionally this is probably the driest part of the year. So now is the time to do the things that we're talking about. Is that accurate?
You bet. And one of the first things, the easiest thing to do, and I always tell people this, is just a 5-gallon bucket that most people would have in their garage now. If you have a newly planted tree, especially, if you go back to that 5-gallon rule, just every few days put a 5-gallon bucket of water on it. If you just drill a few holes, just take a simple drill, or if you're real tough, you can take a 16-penny nail and do it. But that's why I use a drill.
Exactly.
But drill a few holes around this bucket, and actually what it'll do is the water will seep out, over a period of time. And what's really important about irrigating trees and shrubs is that if you use like an oscillating sprinkler, there's a lot of water runoff and a lot of evaporation.
It's wasteful.
That's right, and you don't really get into the soil like you need to on a tree. So when you need to have a drip system of some type or a slow release system like on a 5-gallon bucket with holes in it.
With the bucket, where do you put that in relation to the tree?
I'll just put it right next to the tree and let it seep. Another thing, it's interesting.
Can you move it around a little bit?
You could, one time you do it, you might put it on one side of the tree, on the other side the next time. But it's important too on drip irrigation to realize that it actually balloons out. I mean, when the water hits the ground, it actually expands out, from that drip. So it makes it kind of a balloon, depending on the type of soil you have. So it actually moistens a wider area than just that area where the drip is hitting.
So should you keep it up as close as possible to the
newly
tree?
planted tree? On a newly planted tree, because remember, that's where the root ball is.
Right.
Now, if the tree's a couple years old, it's going to have a little larger root ball, and that's where I might want to go into a homemade drip irrigation system.
Okay.
And that's what I brought here today. And there's 100 different ways to do this, but really all you're trying to do is come up with a way to get a drip of water around the tree or around the shrub.
Okay.
And this is one that I just happen to have in my garage. This is actually, there's an emitter right here that just puts a little drip out about, a gallon per hour of water out of each one of these emitters. There's an emitter in.
There's one here,
exactly.
one here.
And you can actually get a tube like this and put the emitters in yourself. This is just one I actually had, but you can do different things.
And you hook this up to your outside spigot?
What I do is, it doesn't, because of the size of the tube, it doesn't go directly to the spigot, but you can just come up with these different types of fittings, and you can pick these up at several of the hardware stores, things like that. Push it together like that. That's basically is all you have to do. It's a compression fitting, so it doesn't leak around that thing, so that's there. And then you can basically just use about a 25-foot section or a 50-foot section, depending on how big you're going, to kind of wrap around that area. And then you have a real nice soaking of those new trees.
Are these pretty reasonably priced?
Yes, very cheap, very inexpensive. So, and you're not really buying that much. It's just really 25, 50 feet is all you're buying.
And you're wrapping this up what?
Just to remind people, you have to be a little creative when you're doing things like this, because this is just a short version. To hook up to this, I had to go ahead and put 2 female ends on the hose.
Okay.
Just so you connect to my faucet.
Make sure you get everything connected.
You bet. You bet.
All right. Great advice. And if you want more advice about irrigation, you can certainly go online. I know you have downloadable PDFs. I don't know what we would do without those. What's your website?
Just extension.com.